Hello students, welcome back to my channel Maths Made Easy with AB. Today in this video we will be continuing with range of a function. In my earlier video we have seen how to find range, we have understood the basics and solved basic numerical problems. Today will be the continuation of the same. Also students, if you have not seen my series on the calculus part, so basically we have been studying calculus in the previous few videos. We have seen what is function basics. We have seen how to plot graphs. So basically we have seen how to find domain and range. So I will be linking in the info icon, you will find how to find the domain of a function. Also I will be in the link you will get how to find the range of the function in the previous video. Do watch those and then you can get to this video. So let us take an example. So basically we will be taking few important examples, various kind of examples actually we are dealing with to solve the problem. So the first example that we want to see is y is equal to 2 to the power of 2x minus x square. So we have to find the range of the function y is equal to 2 to the power of 2x minus x square. Students, now understand, whenever you, so now you are in class 11, 12th and you are preparing for joint entrance examination. So if you get a question like this, wherein you have been asked to find a range or anything related to function, you have to think first and then you have to apply concept. So now for this question, I will be showing you 2-3 methods to solve this, okay. So now you have been given y is equal to 2 to the power of 2 minus x square. So range is basically finding the value of y, domain is the value of x for which the function is defined, and corresponding the mirror image of the values of x for which we get y is the value of y is the range of the function. So I think till this it is very much clear to you all. So now let us take for this function, let me tell you, you have seen the graph of y is equal to a to the power of x. Students, play with graph in the info icon, do check what is graph, how to draw function. In the info icon I am giving you the entire playlist. Do watch those so that you can be firm and you can grip all the concept in functions. Understand students, if you don't know how to draw graphs, it will be very difficult to tackle the problem of at least IIT the JEE advanced part. So if you are planning for giving JEE advanced, you have to be perfectionist in graphs. So I have started a series, play with graph, in the info icon you must have got it. So do go through that. So now students, y is equal to a to the power of graph. The graph is like this, x axis, this is y axis. So now over here this cuts at 0, 1, right? So this point is 1 actually, 0, 1. So at y axis it cuts at positive 1. So now if you see, the range of the function is the domain of the function. So first I'll say about domain. So domain of the function is R. So any value of x you put, you will get a value of y, which means that this function is defined across R, right? Now if I want to find the range of the function, so range of the function, you can see range of the function is from 0 till infinity, which means the range is from 0 is attainable? No, you can see it forms an asymptote over there, till infinity. We have also seen what the significance of these brackets are in my earlier videos, yeah, right students? So this is the range of the function and this is the domain of the function. So similarly, this also, y is equal to a to the power of fx, this question that has been given is also in the format of what? Y is equal to a to the power of, let me write it as gx, means a function in x, 2x minus x square, it is a function in x, right students? So that is a gx. So a to the power of gx, so this function will also be somewhere like this. So I can say, clearly I can say that this part, this y will be greater than 0, not equal to, it cannot be equal to, because it forms an asymptote, right? Correct, at 0, because this 0 value is never attainable. This 0 value is never attainable. You can see clearly from the graph, right students? So basically I wanted to tell you this part. So I just went back. So these were understood. If you don't know how to draw a graph, do see these. Else if you have understood, you can move ahead. So let's move ahead with this problem. So now you see y is greater than 0. So you know this, since y is an exponential function, y will be greater than 0. Now let us take log on both sides students, log. Let us take log y. Understand we are taking base 2. Why we are taking base 2, it will be clear to you from here, 2 to the power of 2x minus x square. Right students, we have taken base 2 y, you will understand this. So basically this is log y base 2 is equal to, this will come at the front, this is a log property. I hope you all know. Now log 2, 2. What is this, student? What is the value of log 2 base 2? The value is 1, right? Using the property log a base a, the value is 1. So if this and this is same, the value comes to be 1. This is a logarithmic property you must have learned earlier also. If not, you will be seeing this in class 11th also. Logarithm is a part and is an important chapter for IIT, JEE mains and advanced. So this part till this, it is clear to you all, log y base 2. So now can I write this? Now I am taking this one this side. So x square minus 2x plus log y base 2 is equal to 0, students. So this is what you get. Now understand, we have already dealt with this thing that here you have to express, when you are solving a question of range, you have to express it as x is equal to something in y, and then you have to, means just the reverse of domain we do in the case of range. Yeah, just the reverse of domain. What we do in domain is y is equal to something is written, then we define x, right? Since it is real, it has to be defined, right? Now x is real, x should be real. So for x to be real over here, the discriminant of this equation, of this quadratic equation, should be greater than equal to 0, students. I will simply express x is equal to in terms of y, right? So discriminant should be greater than equal to 0. Why discriminant should be greater than equal to 0? Since what, students? Since x is real, right? X has to be real for this to be defined. So discriminant means what? B square minus 4ac. Discriminant is b square. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. What is the value of b, students? The value of b is this one, right? Minus 2. What is the value of b square? 4ac. What is a? A is 1. What is c? C is log y base 2, right? Log y base 2. So it is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? So I think that part is clear to you all. That is a very common thing. If you don't know, I'll just link that also for you to understand. I will be linking that as well for your understanding. So in the info icon, you will get that as well. Right, students? So now understand, discriminant is greater than equal to 0. So I'm erasing some part which is not relevant now. So this part is not needed. Okay, students. So now understand discriminant. So b square is 4. This is 4, right? Minus 4 into a is 1 into c is log y base 2 should be greater than equal to 0. 4 minus 4 log y base 2 should be greater than equal to 0. Let's remove this part on the top. So we have solved it till here since x is real. I hope, students, you first try to solve it yourself and then you see the solution, although this is a concept you are learning. So 1 minus log y. So basically log y base 2 is less than equal to 1. Log y base 2, simplifying this, so 4 gets cancelled out. Log y base 2 is less than equal to 1, or I can write what? Y is less than equal to 2. Y is less than equal to 2. Students, this is what I get. So clearly I get the boundary of the function. So y is greater than 0 and y is less than equal to 0. What is the range of the function y is equal to 2 to the power of 2x minus x square, students? From 0 is not included, see the sign, and 2 is included, right? So 2 is included, y is less than equal to 2. So range of the function is from 0 till 2, and this is the answer. This is the solution for the question that has been given above. Now students, let us see some other ways to solve this problem. So this was one, so let's remove this part. So this is the range of the function. So now students, let us see another part, another concept that we had seen in previous class also. Now just previously I had drawn the graph of y is equal to a to the power of x. So students, understand that I am teaching you different concepts. So in examination, probably you will not get this question, but the concept will remain the same. The way you have to think. So basically you coming here listening to my video is that you are understanding what is going on in my mind. Yeah, and that is the approach that you have to take while you are solving the problem. So y is equal to a to the power of x. The question is y is equal to a to the power of x, students. Yeah. So now this is an increasing function. Again, increasing function, decreasing function, monotonicity. We have seen the basics of monotonicity. We will see more, obviously. The basics of monotonicity we have seen before the range chapter. I will also link that in the info icon. You can see it over here so that you can be firm in that. So monotonicity, let's not move into that now. So this function is increasing. This function y is equal to a to the power of x is increasing in its entire domain. Yeah, domain is entire R. It is entirely increasing. So which means for any value of x, this will always give an increasing value. It will keep on increasing. If you increase x, the value of y, that is the output, will keep on rising. So similarly, this value will keep on rising. So see, example here, x you put 1, this will give a to the power of 1. So a. X you put 2, this will be a square. So value increases. With x increasing, so if x is minimum, then the entire output will be minimum. If x is maximum, the entire output will be maximum. Right? Similarly, 2x minus x square. If this is minimum, the entire output will be minimum. If this is maximum, the entire function will be maximum. Students, this is the output of this. In the earlier video, we had seen a similar example with log. So log is also an increasing function, y is equal to log x base e or whatever. So this is an increasing function. So there also the concept was similar. For a decreasing function, if it would have been a decreasing function, the concept would have reversed. So the maximum for this value would have given the minimum value of the function and vice versa. So I think this is the way how you think while solving problems related to range. Yeah. So let us see. So y is equal to 2 to the power of 2x minus x square. Now for the time being, let our y1 be 2x minus x square. So we are dealing only with, if you are not comfortable writing y1, write y again for easy understanding. But y in this case, since the question is given 2 to the power of 2x minus x square, I am writing it as y1. Let's write it as y only. For your understanding, students, not that it should have, in your examination, when it comes in board examination, you need to write it as y1, else your marks will be deducted, right? Because y is already given as this in this question. Yeah. So y1 or whatever, you can write g also. That's your take. So now y, if I write as 2x minus x square, students, so we will be using a differentiation method. I have already taught you differentiation in the previous video, so I'll not teach that here, but I'll tell you how to do that. So I will differentiate this function dy by dx. You get what? 2 minus 2x. So I had told you that from here dy by dx is equal to 0, you will get the critical point. So x is equal to 1 you are getting as the critical point. Now d2y by dx2, double differentiation, students, double differentiation of 2 minus 2x, that you get as minus 2. So I had told you if d2y by dx2 is less than 0, d2y by dx2 is less than 0, you get maxima. You get maxima, at which point as x is equal to 1, you will get the maximum value of the function. So at x is equal to 1, you get the maximum value of the function. So what will be the maximum value of the function? We'll see. If I put x is equal to 1, so y, so let me write it this way. Value of y at x is equal to 1 is how much? This one. This is 2 minus 1, that is 1, right? The value is 1, correct? Also, this is an exponential function, so y has to be greater than 0. So this is already understood, y is greater than 0. So this is the minimum value that you have got. Y is greater than 0 is the minimum value that you have got. Now you are getting the maximum value, y, this is max, so I can write it as y max. At what point? X is equal to 1, students. It is happening, y max is happening at x is equal to 1 and the value is 1. So basically this y max is 1. So this will be 2 to the power of 1. This is on that power, right? So 2 to the power of 1. 2 to the power of 1. That is, this is attainable also at x is equal to 1. The value that you are getting is 1. So this value is attainable 2, right? And y is greater than 0 and y should be less. So simply 0 till 2. This is the range of the function using calculus. Very simply using calculus you get it. So you found out maxima and minima of the function using calculus and you solve the problem. So this is another way of solving this problem. And students, also you can use the graphical method. So graphical method is basically also same thing, finding the minimum value of this part. You can use a graphical approach also. I'm not going into that right now. So this function on the top, it is y is equal to 2x minus x square. Again, this is what? This is a parabola, students, right? This is a parabola. So let me write it in this way, plus 2x plus 0. Ax square plus bx plus c. A is what? Minus 1 here. B is what? 2. And what is c? C is 0. So you need to find the vertex minus b by 2a comma minus d by 4a. This will be a downward opening parabola since a is negative. So somewhat like this. The parabola will be somewhat like this, whatever. Where be the minimum point? So using this method, in the earlier video, In the previous question of logarithm, we had drawn and shown it to you. So I will not be doing it. For your simplicity, you can solve it on your own and you can see how you will find the minimum or the maximum, whatever be the value of this function. So I leave it to you all students. Let us move in the next question to the next question. I hope students you are enjoying the video. If you are liking my channel, do subscribe. I'll come up with more videos for clearing your concepts, and this will be like completely for any student, any layman student. It's a very simple thing. In the simplest way I'm trying to put it for you all, right? Yeah, so that's, you're the best judge. You can understand how it is going. If you are liking it, do subscribe. So next question is, student, very important. This is a very, very important question when it comes to board examination. You have to find the range of function y is equal to a cos x plus b sin x. You have to find the range of the functions. Now student, understand, let me, before going into this question, let me teach you an important concept, or I'm just, in graph we have already seen, but still. So y is equal to sin x, students. I have drawn the graph. We have seen the graph of y is equal to sin x. So what is y is equal to sin x, students? So this is the x axis. Let me draw it in this way, x, y. This is bounded. Sin x is bounded between +1 and -1. We had dealt with this, right? Also same with sin x, same with cos x. So the maximum value of y is equal to sin x can be +1 and the minimum value of y is equal to sin x is -1, and sin x will always lie in between +1 and -1. So sin x graph is somewhat like this. This value is pi and then it goes to 2 pi, and say this is the period. So you will learn about period in coming video. I'll go to that. So this is how the sin x goes, and but the value for here you will get this value, for here you will get this value. So the value will always lie in between +1 and -1, right? So I will write the range of y is equal to sin x. The range of y is equal to sin x is -1 till 1. So this is the range of sin x. Range of sin x or cos x, same. The range of sin x and cos x is what, student? -1 to +1. Yeah, you can see from the graph also. Now if I add the element, a, say for example 2 sin x, 3 sin x. Similarly students, this will go and become a. It will become a times. We had already seen this in graph. Just the graph will elongate like this. The graph, what happens? What happens to the graph? The graph remains at pi and 2 pi. The period remains the same, but the range means the output that you get elongates, right? So this becomes what? The maximum value here was 1. For a sin x, the maximum value will become a and the minimum value will become -a. So then it will become, the range of sin x cos x will become -a and +a. -a till +a. Sin x will lie, a sin x will lie. I repeat, y is equal to a sin x, the value will lie between -a and +a. So with this concept, let's move and solve this question that is given on the top. Y is equal to a cos x plus b sin x. If you got this, a little bit of funda that I gave you right now, this question given above will be very much simple. Y is equal to a cos x plus b sin x. So students, before getting into this problem, let us understand one. So I will be using trigonometrical method. So if you have if you know trigonometry well and good enough, if you know the basics of trigonometry also, this problem can be solved. So let us draw a graph over here, not a graph, a geometrical figure. Let us name this as alpha, this is a and this is b. So this is a triangle. Sorry. So this is a triangle. Basically the base is a and the height is b. So what will be the hypotenuse? Using Pythagoras theorem, it is very simple, root over a square plus b square. Yeah, this is very simple. What will be the value of cos alpha, students? Cos is base by this, so a upon root a square plus b square. What will be cos alpha done? What will be sin alpha? Sin alpha will be b upon, what is sin? Perpendicular by hypotenuse, right? P by h, perpendicular by hypotenuse. So b upon root over a square plus b square. So this is one thing that you got. So if you see the triangle over here, so this is the triangle, angle is alpha. I have assumed this, okay? This is not given, but I am assuming this just to solve this problem. I am showing you the method how you can solve this problem. This is alpha, this is the base A, and this is the perpendicular. So this is, or the height, you can say, height and the base, and this is the hypotenuse, right? So cos is a upon a root a square plus b square. However you see, whatever you see this as. Sine alpha is this by this. Yeah, so I think you know how it is, the angle. Some people have curly black hair and somewhat this principle, the sine is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse, right? And this is cos is base upon hypotenuse. So this is how we solve it. And tan, if it would have been tan, students, then B by A. Yeah, turning perfectly black. Last is turning perpendicular by black. B, perpendicular by base. So I think these things funda you have already learned before, so I'm not going into that. So students now understand. So can I write this as y is equal to, I'm just taking a square plus b square by a square plus b square. I'm just multiplying this entire part with this cos x plus b sin x. Can I write this at like this? Just root a square plus b square by root a square plus b square. Now I am taking root a square that was here, that was in the base, as a square plus b square. I am already writing it. So a by root a square plus b square cos x plus b by root a square plus b square sin x. Right, students, I think this is very much clear to you all. A square minus b square, I have taken it individually inside the bracket. So I can do that, right? This is not wrong, because root a square plus b square, anyways it will cancel it out. Right, now see the concept a square plus b square. What is a by root a square plus b square? What is a by root a square plus b square? That is cos alpha, students. So basically this becomes cos alpha into cos x. This is b upon root a square. So this is sin x into sin alpha, right? Cos x into cos alpha plus sin x into sin alpha and root a square. So basically what is the formula for this? A square plus b square, let it be. So this is cos of what, students? Cos of x minus alpha. This is the formula. Cos x minus alpha is what? Cos x into cos alpha plus sin x into sin alpha. This is the basic theorem of cos, so which we had gone over here. So this part boils down to cos of x minus alpha, and here you have a square plus b square. Very simple this is. Now students, the question is very simple now. Y is equal to root a square plus b square. Now understand, y is equal to root a square plus b square into cos alpha into x minus alpha. The range won't depend upon this, the angle, whatever be the angle, it will depend upon this part. Just previously I told you, if what y is equal to a sin x is lying in between what? Minus a till plus a. Y is equal to a cos x will lie in between what? Minus a till plus a. Similarly, this function now will lie in between what? Minus root a square plus b square. This will be the minimum value of this function, and plus root a square plus b square. Both attainable, because minus 1 plus 1 for sin x plus a minus a, both are attainable. So this will be attainable. So this is the minimum value, this is the maximum value of this function, and hence this is the range of the function that has been given on the top. So understand students, y is equal to a cos x plus b sin x will lie in between minus root a square plus b square till plus root a square plus b square. This is, I think you understood this problem. This is a very, very important numerical for your JEE main perspective or for your school board perspective. This is a very common question that has been asked. So I hope you understand. So just to reiterate this point, let me erase this part out. I hope students this was very clear. So this is the function that you get. Students, one request I have for you all. So you need to memorize this. You need to memorize this. Now you saw the solution, okay? You saw the solution, not memorize this. You don't memorize numericals, but when JEE main and advanced is concerned, everything is on time. So you have to save your time. So you have to always remember for a function. So you write down the proof also, and somewhere when you're writing the formulas or the tricks, so write down there. So for a function given as y is equal to a cos x plus b sin x, or whatever be the reverse, b sin x, b cos x, a sin x, whatever. So the maximum value, so the y max will be what? Root a square plus b square, the positive part. What will be y min? What will be the minimum value? Minus root a square plus b square. That's it. That's very simple, right? Right, students? So this function, the range will be what? both included, the range will be both included minus root a square plus b square till a square plus b square. So this will be the range of the function. If the question would have been find the range of the function y is equal to 3 cos x plus 4 sin x, say for example this would have been the question. So what would have been the answer? What would have been the maximum range of this function, students? The range of this function would have been minus 5 till 5. Simply in one line, nothing required. You remember the formula? Root a square plus b square. So root a square b square 9 plus 16, that is root 25, which is 5. So this function will lie between minus 5 till 5. That's why I told you need to simply memorize or remember this thing. Yeah, we already saw the proof, right? Let's move on to the next problem. I think using trigonometric properties you saw how we solve this numerical. So let us see the next question, which is also very important for your joint perspective. You need to find the range of the function y is equal to x square minus x upon x square plus 2x. You need to find the range of the function y is equal to x square minus x upon x square plus 2x. So now many students will make a mistake while solving this problem. Is they will do what? They will say, oh, x is common, so let's take x out. X square x minus 1, this will become x minus 1, and this will be x plus 2, and they will cut out x. They'll say forget about x, remove x, and let's now solve y is equal to x minus 1 by x plus 2, and they will start solving this. But doing this, they will be doing a great mistake. So let's not do this way, because I have already taught you when I had started the basics of functions. I had given you a short lecture, and I hope you have seen that. If you have not, I'll just keep that in the info icon or in the description. You'll already get it. So you need to see it that way, right? So let's get started with this problem. So let's erase what I did. I'll come to that also. That will be a part of this function. So first, I told you when I started range, the first thing when you have been given a question, you need to find the domain of the function. So y is equal to fx is given as x square minus x by x square plus 2x. Here simply denominator part, the denominator will not be equal to 0. So x square plus 2x, this won't be equal to 0. So you get x plus 2 is not equal to 0. So x is not equal to 0 and x is not equal to what? X is not equal to minus 2. So what is the domain of the function? So the domain of the function is real minus two elements. Two elements are removed. That's why I am giving this bracket. I think I had told you in the previous video that this is a set theory bracket. So only for the elements that I have removed, I am writing only the elements. This doesn't mean from 0 till minus 2. This only means that 0 and minus 2. So real number minus 0 and minus 2 are not included. Now students, you know that the domain doesn't contain 0. Domain doesn't contain 0. That means what? That here the function x cannot be equal to 0. Since x cannot be equal to 0, you can do this thing. X, you can take out common x by x, and this will become x minus 1 and this will be x plus 2. Now you can cancel this x out, since you know that in domain 0 is not included. If this would have been 0 by 0 form, no students, understand, else this would have been 0 by 0 form and you cannot cut it like that if this would have been 0 by 0 form. Since you know x is not equal to 0, you remove this part, right? So knowing this thing, let's move ahead. So you have what now? You have y is equal to x minus 1 by x plus 2. We already know that you have to express in terms of x is equal to something in terms of y, right? So I am just multiplying yx plus 2y is equal to x minus 1, right? I think this is clear to you all. So x minus yx is equal to 1 plus 2y, or if I take x common over here, so 1 plus 2y upon 1 minus y. So this is the solution that you get. X is equal to 1 plus 2y upon 1 minus y. So simply here also denominator not equal to 0, right? Denominator is not equal to 0. Since x is real, again, since x is real, y is not equal to 1. Clear? So some students will write, great. So the answer is r minus 1. Now there is a catch. Students, many will say, okay, so only one value. So the answer is r minus only one element 1. They will mark this answer and come, and they will get a minus 1 for this. They will get a negative marking for this. There will be one more element, students. Let us see which element is that. Since students understand, why I had focused on finding the domain, because when you will say why to find a domain when range is being asked, I had said that x cannot be equal to 0 and minus 2. These were the 2 points, right? X cannot be equal to 0 and minus 2. So if you put x is equal to 0 over here, you are getting what? Y as minus half. If I put x is equal to 0, you are getting as what? Y is not equal to minus, y is equal to minus half. So students, y cannot take the value as minus half also, right? Because x is not equal to 0. If you put 0, in this minus half is not being eliminated, right? So the answer will be range equals real minus 1 is excluded, fine. And also minus half needs to be removed, because if x is equal to 0, x is not equal to 0, right? If you put x is equal to 0, you are getting a value of y as what? Minus half. If you put x is equal to 0, if you put x is equal to 0 over here, x cannot be equal to minus 0 because that is not in the domain. Something is, so this is domain, this is range. If something is not in the domain, but you are getting corresponding, you have an image of that. So domain, that value is not defined. If you are removing this, so you have to remove that from range also, right? That value cannot be attained. This function can't be established. So if x is equal to 0, you put minus half. So you need to remove minus half also. Same for minus 2 also you will do. But if you do minus 2, that is anyways not defined, because in the base you are getting a 0. So minus 2 will not be there. And then this y is not giving any value also. So that is not included over here. So r minus 1 and minus half is excluded. So this is the range of the function of the question. So basically I'll just say, I think this is very much clear to you all. So what the function, if you see over here, the function that was given, I'm removing this part. So the function y is equal to x square minus x by x square plus 2x. The range is what? R minus one element you have to remove is minus half, and the another element that you have to remove is 1. So this minus this. So if 4 options, many students will mark R minus 1. So this is option A, this is option B, R minus half and 1. So many students will mark this and come, and then they will get a minus 1 for this. This is not the correct answer. The correct answer is this one. R minus half and 1 is removed. So this option B is correct. Option A is incorrect. Yeah, I think this question was very important, and this was an eye opener actually for those who are not finding domain. So finding domain is very important step while you are finding range of a function. Many teachers won't say this, but with this problem you understood what is the significance of finding a domain of a question. Yeah, so I think this was clear to you all. So we will quickly move to the next question. So we will be taking down the next question over here. So the next question is y is equal to, find the range of the function y is equal to x minus 1 plus root over 5 minus x. This is yet again a very important conceptual question. This is a small question, but it will take you through several important concepts. Students, now understand one thing about differentiation. Let me get into that. If you already know differentiation and you are revising it, so for them I think this will be a cakewalk. But for those who have not yet seen differentiation, a little bit application of differentiation I am showing you actually. So say for example, this is a function y is equal to fx. So let it be this function. This is the function y is equal to fx that I have drawn. Yeah. So understand this part. This is the function y is equal to fx. So if I say dy by dx, which means a tangent to this function, dy by dx at say x1, dy by dx at x1. What does this mean? This means a tangent to this function y is equal to fx at x is equal to x1. Yeah, and the slope of that line that forms. So basically this is theta, so this is tan theta. In this case, which will be negative. Theta more than 90 degree, this angle is obtuse, right? Acute angle is positive, tan theta positive, this is obtuse, so this will be negative. So if dy by dx is negative, you understand that the curve will be somewhat like this or whatever. So the curve will be somewhat like this. If say for example the curve would have been somewhat like this, students, if the curve would have been somewhat like this. So understand, this is x, this is y. So if I say dy by dx for this, so dy by dx for this, so this would have been the angle alpha, say. So dy by dx at say point x1, x2, let's take it x2. So dy by dx at point x2 would have been what? Tan alpha. In this case it is positive. So this is also an increasing function. So for an increasing function, dy by dx is greater than 0 at that point. That point for function is in an increasing stage. If the function is decreasing, dy by dx is, so this function is decreasing, right? Dy by dx at this point, x1, that is the decreasing point, is less than 0. I think till here it is clear to you all. This is very, in a layman term I have taught you, for that's why I said for those who already know this part, application of derivative they have seen before, this would have been very simple. But for the new ones, I think I meant what I wanted to say over here. So I will apply a little bit of this over here. That's why I taught you this. Yeah. So let's see, y is equal to root x minus 1 plus x. For first and foremost, we need to do what, student? We need to find the range of the function. So simply x minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, so x is greater than equal to 1. And here 5 minus x is greater than equal to 0, so x is less than equal to 5. So simply x will lie in between 1 and 5. X will lie in between 1 and 5. So this thing is very clear, 1 and 5. So say this is my graph, x-axis, this is y-axis. The function will lie in between 1 and 5. Clear to you all? The domain is 1 and 5. So the function lies in between 1 and 5. And 1 is attainable, 5 is attainable, greater than equal to sign is there. You need to see the sign equal to. So this was the domain part. Let's remove it. So now you know the function lies between 1 and 5. Clear to you all? So now see one thing. One more thing. Dy by dx greater than 0, less than 0 we saw. Say for example, a graph is like this. And the point at which it is turning, student, if somebody is finding dy by dx at that point, so the point at which the graph is turning, you see a line that is parallel to x-axis. What is that? Tan theta is how much? Angle is 0. So tan 0 is 0, right? So that is 0. So there dy by dx is 0. Dy by dx is 0. So the point at which the graph takes a turn, there dy by dx is 0. So it can be downward, it can be upward also. Here at this lowermost point, dy by dx will be what? Dy by dx will be 0. Then the function is increasing over here in this case. So here dy by dx is greater than 0. This side dy by dx is less than 0. And what we saw previously. So this is the thing. So let me be very clear with this before I get into this. So let me draw a graph on the top. Say for example, you have a graph somewhat like this. Say for example, this point is 4. Okay. So here if you see dy by dx at x is equal to 4, dy by dx at x is equal to 4 is how much, student? Is 0. Because the graph is turning at this point. The slope, if you draw a tangent at this graph, this parabola at what? At 4, you will get slope of 0. The function in this side means when x is less than 4, at any point if you draw a graph where the graph is decreasing, you will have what? So this angle, if you see, this is obtuse angle. So dy by dx for any point x is less than 4 will be what? Negative. Will be negative, right? And for any point greater than 4, student, here if you draw here, so this is getting acute angle. So dy by dx at any point x greater than 4 will be greater than 0. At any point will be greater than 0. So eventually we are making things more complex, students. If somebody of you might be thinking that, oh, this is becoming very complex to you, take some time. Say if you are not seeing it here, do mark this video, do save this video, add this to your own playlist. Yeah, so as watch later. Come back when you see application of derivative. So you can mark this. So you know how to create watch list of your own in YouTube, right? So you can clearly add it to your watch list, watch later, write it as application of derivative. So in application of derivative, when you have already seen application of derivative, you can come back to these videos to understand the part where you didn't. So it is for those students who think at this stage they don't want to learn. But for me, I'll tell you, do learn, do understand at this point, because everything is very clear over here. Dy by dx means what? You know, it is simply a tangent. So tangent, the slope. So basically it's the slope of the tangent. So I'm drawing a slope. It is positive, negative, acute, obtuse. So these things are very basic. So you understand it right here. Yeah. So that's it. for this part. So let me now come back to this problem. So you see the range, the domain of the function was between 1 and 5. The function lies in between 1 and 5 only. What is the value of the function at x is equal to 1? So this part x is equal to 1, so this is 0, 4. So this will be 2. The value of the function is 2 at x is equal to 1. What is the value of the function at x is equal to 5? This is 0, 5 minus 2. Again same 2. So student, this function is having 2. So this function can either be like this function can be like this. So this, I am saying probable function. This can be the minimum value of the function also. If 2 is the minimum value of the function will be somewhat like this, right? Other points will be more than that. If 2 is the maximum value of the function will be like this. The function can be like this, right? So anything can happen. Anything can happen. The function can be like this also. So if the function is like this, student, you will get dy by dx is equal to 0 over here. You will get dy by dx is equal to 0 over here. You will get dy by dx is equal to 0 over here. So understand the concept, student. If you want to know how many times the graph turns in between these 2 points, at all those points dy by dx will be equal to 0, right? So this is the point, this is the point 2. So if you want to know at in between 1 and 5 how many times dy by dx is equal to 0, because say for example if the graph is simply like this, so at only one point over here you will get dy by dx is equal to 0, at only one point. If the graph is simply like this, then also at one point you will get dy by dx is equal to 0, right? I think this makes sense to you all. You are understanding what I am trying to say over here. This is very conceptual and very important for you all to understand, right? If the graph is somewhat like this, say for example, then over here also dy by dx is 0, then here also dy by dx is 0, 2 points dy by dx is equal to 0. So you can understand these become the critical points. At these points you will have to analyze. So let's do what you understood now. So we have to find dy by dx at first. We will have to find dy by dx at first. Let's erase this. We'll come back to this graph again when we have once found out dy by dx. The question was root x minus 1 by plus 5 minus x. So what is dy by dx, students? What is dy by dx for this question? I think this is making sense to you all. You are learning something from this video. Yeah. So this is 1 by 2 root x minus 1 plus 1 by 2. This will be plus or minus? This is minus, right? Because you have a minus x over here. So the minus x, if you differentiate, minus 1 will come. So 1 by, so this is basically root over, not right, 2 over here, 5 minus x, right? So 1 by 2 root x minus 1. So basically what? Dy by dx, if we equate it to 0, I can clearly see x minus 1 is equal to 5. So 2x is equal to 6. So x is equal to 3. Only one value of x you are getting. This is simple, students. I am not solving it over here. This is very basic. You need to solve it on your own. So 1 by 2. So everything goes away. Only x minus root x plus x minus 1 is equal to root 5 minus x. Root cancelled. X minus 1 is equal to 5 minus x. X is equal to 3. From there, 2x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 3. So this is what you get. So there is only one point. So understand the graph now. So you had 1, you had 5, and this point was 2. This point was 2. So either the graph will be like this, or the graph will be like this, or it will go below x-axis. It will be like this. So these are the possibilities of the graph, right? At only one point, it will be dy by dx is equal to 0. This means this part. So there will not be several turning points over here. So now understand, students, what will happen to the graph. What is the value of dy by dx? It is 1 by 2 root x minus 1 minus 1 by 2 root 5 minus x. This is the value of dy by dx. So now understand from the graph. Let's draw the graph over here. So this was the y-axis, this was the x-axis, this point was 1 and this point was 5, and at 3 students the graph takes a turn. So this point is how much? This point is 2. Also same point lies at 5, right? And at 3, let's find the value of the graph at 3. So if you see the value of the graph at 3, so if you put 3 over here, root 2 plus root 2, that is 2 root 2. X is equal to 3. What is the value of the graph, students? It is 2 root 2, which means the graph is somewhere on the top. At x is equal to 3, the value is what? 2 root 2, so 2 into 1.44, whatever. So this is the graph. So the graph will be, students, like what? The graph will be somewhat like this. So this will be the graph of the function. Simply from here you can see, you can directly write the range of the function. So the range of the function is from 2 till 2 root 2. 2 is attainable, 2 root 2 is attainable, both are attainable. So from 2 till 2 root 2 this function will lie. That is the range of the function. So that's the answer of this question. Now you understood why I drew the graph directly like this. This part will not go above, because I have already seen dy by dx is equal to 0 at only one point. Here at this point what will happen? Dy by dx will be equal to 0. Here, students, in between 2 and 3, dy by dx will be positive or negative? The function is increasing over here. So if I draw a line over here, this angle will be what? Acute. So in this case, this side dy by dx will be positive. It will be greater than 0. So understand, so I'll just write, and this part dy by dx will be greater than 0. Okay, this part dy by dx will be greater than 0. Understood? So basically what I am trying to say, this is the range of the function. Let's remove this part. Let's remove this part. So basically this is the number line. You have 1, you have 3, you have 5, right? At 1 you have min, at 3 you have max, and the value is what? 2 root 2. 2. This is, you have min. dy by dx, students, over here is what? dy by dx is positive. dy by dx here is negative. As simple as that. So that's the entire thing. That's the entire research, you can say, this I have just thrown the problem out and solved it very simply. If you understood, if you have any doubt, students, you can go to the comment section and write it. So understand, I think you have to note one very important thing. So when y is minimum at 2 or more points, when y is minimum at 2 or more points, you can write it down also. You can make the video slower and you can write it down. When y is minimum at 2 or more points, the smallest value from them is taken, and when y is maximum at 2 or more points, the largest value from them is taken. We already solved it and saw it over here. So the range of the function, the question was this. The range is from 2 till 2 root 2. I think this question actually helps you understand more about range, and I will not solve any problem from range now, and I will try to end range over here only. But two numericals, two very important questions I will be giving. In fact, not two, let me give you 3 questions as homework, as you're understanding what you have learned. You can go to the comment section and write down the question of all these 3 questions. So y is equal to 3 sine root over pi square by 9 minus x square. This is one question. You will have to find the range of this function. Second question is y is equal to 3 cos root over, same thing, pi square upon 9 minus x square. So this is the second question you need to solve and come out with the answer in the comment section. And the next question is fx is equal to, same, y is equal to fx or y, whatever you write, is equal to log of, let's not write this number, log of, let's write this, cos of root pi square upon 9 minus x square. So these are the 3 questions, students, that I leave as a homework to you all. And I want to see the answer of this question in the comment section. For those who have understood this chapter very properly, I think solving these 3 questions won't be difficult. If you have any difficult, as I said, I'll get on to a one-on-one session. I'll try conducting webinars further on. If you're liking my video and my channel grows and I get sufficient feedback from you all. So that's it, students, from the range part, range of a function. I think you enjoyed watching this video. If you're liking my video, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your time.